Satnam, and welcome to the month of success and prosperity. So, you remember on day one, we started with my cousin brother who came to me for advice on how to become successful. Well, this story is also about him. It's about his attitude actually. When anybody started a conversation, let's say, if I'm in the garments business and I wanted to help him and we were partners for a very short time. And whenever we would meet someone and that person would start telling us about a particular subject related to garments, like the fabric or the stitching or the factory or something, oh, I know everything about it. I know this person, I know that person, I know this, I know that, I know, and that whole superiority, the inferiority complex translates to wanting to prove that you know it all. And sometimes you might actually even believe that you know it all. Now, I'll tell you the difference between that attitude and my attitude. Now, my attitude is, let's say I'm a teacher of Kundalini Yoga. I've been teaching for the last, 10, 12 years, whatever. I have studied it so deeply and I'm still studying it. But let's say tomorrow there's this guy who comes to me who studied it for 2 years. I've studied it for 12 years, right? Now, this guy comes to me, studied it for 2 years. And he says, do you know Kundalini Yoga, this aspect of Kundalini Yoga? And even if I know it, I'm going to tell him I don't know it. You see, the point is, if he talks to me for 10 minutes and can give me one new word, forget about a sentence, forget about a concept, forget about an idea. If he can give me one new word that will change my perspective about one small aspect of what I know, it's worth it. Why should I tell him that I know it? I know it all. And then deprive myself of that knowledge. That knowledge, that depth of knowledge is the key to your success and your prosperity. Please understand the concept. When you have an attitude of saying that I know this and you want to just keep proving that you know it and you're just giving lectures and sermons to people without wanting to hear what they have to say, how will you learn? Have the attitude of humility and say, I don't know it. Please teach me. No matter who it is. I have that humility even when I'm with a child. I'm happy to learn. My wife, my best friends, they call me a sponge. They say you're like a sponge. You just meet somebody and you want to just learn whatever they have in their brain. You just want to suck out all their wisdom, all their knowledge, I say, yes, why not? What's wrong with it? I'm not cheating anyone. I'm not lying to anyone. I'm not hurting anyone. I just want something that they have which is so precious. It's something called wisdom. So, adopt an attitude of I know nothing, because really, according to Vedanta philosophy, according to the reality of life, according to Zen, according to Buddhism, you really know nothing. The more you know, the more you realize how little you know. There's one of the first sentences in my life when I started studying philosophy about 36 years ago, the first book in the Dhammapada, one of the first sentences that I marked, I still have that book, is the further one travels, the less one knows. Which means the more you know, the more you realize how little you know. You will meet people who will be experts in a particular subject, and they'll say, "Oh, I know it all," and they have this grand attitude. And you will have people like Swami Dayanand Saraswati who have read Upanishads and Vedas and scriptures and Sanskrit and scholars, and they'll talk to you like this. I say, I know nothing. When I look at somebody like that, I cry, I feel like crying, because that humility, that wisdom in realizing, there is a wisdom in realizing that you really know nothing. And that hunger to learn, that's one of the key principles of your success in your life. I'll see you tomorrow. Satnam.